that I was in, and it was August of '65, just before I was coming home. And some little old lady come up to me and spit on me, called me a baby killer. I just looked at her and shook my head and walked away. Because we weren't very popular back then.
Mm.
I mean, I had kids spitting at me in college. Because the vets hung together. The Vietnam vets, we all hung together.
Mm.
And the kids in school didn't like us because, A, we were all at least 21, 22 years old. We could buy booze and they couldn't. And this was the peace movement back then.
Mm.
Yeah. Nowadays, these kids, they get the parades. Everybody loves them. Nobody liked us back then. And it doesn't bother me. It's just a different generation.
Mm.
I know what I did. I know who I am today.
Yeah.
I never proved nothing to nobody. I went to places that I didn't want to go. I was with people I didn't want to be with, and I did things I didn't want to do, but I came back.
Mm.
And every once in a while, I have to go to Providence for a physical, and I see guys my age and some younger that ain't come back yet. Luckily, I came back with all my mental faculties somewhat unimpaired.
Mm.
I still have problems.
Mm.
I do PTSD training and stuff. That's what I do.
Yeah.
But would I recommend the military? Yes, with certain caveats. It's not all fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you see in the movies.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work. And the guys that get to go to special forces and the guys that get to go to, like, I got a buddy of mine who's a SEAL. You don't you can volunteer all you want. They pick you. There's a lot of work that goes with it, and it starts like in high school. It starts with getting yourself trained to be able to listen to people and hear them. It starts to having good, habits, taking care of yourself physically, mentally, maybe even spiritually. Listen to the people above you. You got a mother, listen to your mother. You got a father, listen to your father. Because they're not telling you stuff to hear themselves talk. And I saw that all these spoiled little rich bastards never made it.
Mm-hmm.
They never, they couldn't get through it because they were so used to being entitled that they thought it was natural. And you learn in life that nothing comes, without working for it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no such thing as a free lunch, ever. There's always some strings or something that you have to pay for. So, if you want to go in the service, great service. Anybody that wants to go in the military, my hat's off to them. But be prepared to do the work. Don't go in there unless you're prepared to do the job. Whether it's you want to be a clerk typist, be the best clerk typist you can. You want to be an airborne ranger, be the best airborne ranger you can. Because to start out with, they break you down to build you up. See, that's what I liked about the Army. The Army, we had some intelligence. You had to have a little bit of smarts to do what we did. Unlike we weren't cannon fodder like certain other branches were.
And being in the military and all the physical demanding and mentally demanding stuff, what made you keep pushing through? Was it that factor of you didn't want to go home, or?
No, it was the camaraderie,
Mm-hmm.
seeing the guys that I really respected. I was the baby. I was the youngest guy there by 3-4 years. I was seeing what they were doing, and I wanted to keep up with them. These were the guys that I was looking up to, and I didn't want to let them down.
And were you able to keep
part
up
of you, and I kept up.
Mm-hmm.
I made it all the way up. 22 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Should I have taken the setback? No, because my life would have turned out different.
Mm-hmm.
18-year-old second lieutenants didn't last too long in combat, and I saw that from experience. When you get over there, you think you know it all, and you don't know jack shit. So my life turned for a reason. It's like I said, just turned 64 years old. I might not have made it. Don't know. But I'm here today. I don't regret anything I ever did. I have no regrets. Everything I've ever done, would I change some things? Probably. I just don't know what. You can't say, having hindsight's a wonderful thing. But, it's the situation. And the one thing the military taught me to do is take care of myself. I mean, I'm not a clean freak, but I know how to take care of myself. I don't put undue expectations on somebody else. I don't take, back when I had my construction company, I didn't have anybody do anything I couldn't do. And I used to do that. I was like, I ran a platoon sometimes. I was 20 years old, 19 years old. And I had charge of platoons in Vietnam. I had guys 25, 30 years old, 35 years old under me. And they respected me because they knew where I came from. I had a few times in Vietnam before I got there full time. I've been over there TDY. And, I've done a lot of things. you have to earn respect. You don't get it. It's like when you make sergeant, you make private, whatever when they give you rank, you have to earn the respect of the guys underneath.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way you earn the respect is by showing that, you lead through doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing in school. You want to do something in school, you want to play sports, do the best you can. Give it 110%. Because 50%, you get 50% of shit. Anything else?
We still have 5 minutes.
Hmm?
We still have 5 minutes.
Want me to sing and dance?
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff like the physical training we went through. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I remember in OCS we had those. They look like ladders, and then bars, and to get to the they even have them in basic training, but we had to do like a mile a day. When I got out, I was like 5'10", 165 pounds. I had a 22-inch neck. I was huge, But I loved it. I ran. I mean, when I got out of the service, I still ran for about 2 years after. And then back in '72, when I decided to go back in, I started running again, and I loved it. And we didn't have athletic shoes. We ran with 80 pounds of gear on our back, carrying a M14 at high port with combat boots on. We didn't have the shorts, the PT uniforms they got today, the t-shirts and shit. We ran full combat gear. Steel pots. I never wore a steel pot in Vietnam. I didn't like them. People get killed with those things. But we did a lot of stuff,
Tell me your greatest accomplishment in your service.
Accomplishments? Like what?
Like, do you set any goals for yourself and accomplish them?
I
just gave everything.
When I went to Vietnam, my biggest goal was to come home alive, and I did it. A lot of people didn't. I got to work with a lot of different units. I got to do a lot of different things, and I saw a lot of different things over there. And the one thing I saw over there was that the total disregard for human life from the Asians. They didn't care like we did. They'd taken and set up all this stuff, just to hurt you, maim, and mutilate, not to kill, because they knew that we would take 3 to 4 people for every person that got wounded. You'd tie up 3 to 4 people, sometimes more. Over there, they just leave them. So I saw the total disregard for human life. I saw what they did to their own people. I saw it was genocide. They were killing themselves. They'd go in and wipe out a whole village just to piss people off. That's what they did. But, it wasn't fun. It was. I wouldn't trade the experience for anything else I've ever done. I'd do it again and again and again. I was trained mainly for conventional warfare, but I did a lot of guerrilla stuff. And it was a good experience. I met a lot of good people. It's a shame most of the really good ones I met didn't come back. But it's not up to me to decide who comes back and who doesn't.
Alright, I think that probably sums it up. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you, Angela,
for your time.